Right now, underneath your truck, there's a sealed steel tube that road salt gets into and never leaves. You can't see it from above. You can't see it walking around the vehicle. The body looks fine. The paint looks fine. And the steel inside that rail is giving itself up, season after season, until a mechanic pushes a screwdriver through it and tells you the truck is done. That's not bad luck. That's what happens when nobody hands you the $40 fix. And before you decide this is one of those problems that only hits the rust belt or only the truck that never gets washed, look at where it actually lands. The corrosion starts inside the boxed rail, in the one cavity a car wash never reaches and a garage never dries out. A garage-kept truck with a spotless body rots there just the same, because the salt slush that packed into the rail in February is still sitting inside it in June. The people who lost trucks to this weren't neglecting them. Most of them washed the outside religiously. The rail doesn't care about the outside. Toyota already knows this. They spent $3.4 billion learning it after the fact, on 1.5 million trucks. I'll give you the full number and the model year window in a few minutes, because that detail changes how you think about what you're driving right now. A full frame replacement on a pickup runs $7,000 to $15,000. Some shops quote higher. That's if you catch it before a load-bearing section is compromised, because once the spring mounts or cross members are gone, you're not negotiating a repair. You're deciding whether the truck is worth saving at all. Against that, a gallon jug of lanolin undercoat runs $30 to $50 at any farm supply or auto parts store. One afternoon in the driveway before the first salt goes down. That is the entire equation. And a major automaker already spent $3.4 billion learning why that equation matters. Here's the part that should stay with you. Once you understand what road salt actually does inside a sealed frame rail, the fact that nobody handed you the fix is going to be harder to ignore than the rust itself. Road salt doesn't corrode steel the way humidity corrodes an old tool left in a barn. When salt dissolves into the water trapped inside your frame rail, it turns that water into a conductor. Salt provides the external conductive path that drives the corrosion reaction the way a battery drives current. The steel itself becomes part of a slow electrical circuit. Metal migrates out of the rail and converts to iron oxide, which is rust, and the reaction runs continuously as long as moisture and oxygen are present. Corrosion engineers call it galvanic corrosion, at the seams and welds where mud and salt pack together and hold moisture against the metal for weeks at a time. They call it poultice corrosion. The geometry that makes a truck frame strong, that closed boxed section, is exactly what makes the failure invisible. Salt slush gets in through drain holes and road seams. It sits. It never fully dries. The body above stays clean, and the steel underneath gives itself up, season after season, from the inside out. The SAE, the Society of Automotive Engineers, built a standardized test for exactly this. It's called J2334. Engineers drove test panels on real trucks through Montreal and Newfoundland, some of the saltiest road environments in North America, then built a lab cycle that compresses 5 years of that exposure into about 80 test days. The industry's own corrosion benchmark came from what happens to trucks on real winter roads. They knew what salt does. The question was always the economics. There is no margin in telling a customer to spray their own frame rail every fall for $40. There is margin in a frame replacement. There is margin in a new truck purchase after the old one fails. The mechanics who figured this out weren't working for manufacturers. They were working in Rust Belt shops in Ohio and Michigan and upstate New York, watching good trucks die from the inside. Fleet owners running plow trucks and commercial vehicles who couldn't afford to cycle frames on a rotation started spraying their own undercarriages every fall with lanolin and oil-based film products. Not because anyone told them to, because they could see what happened to the trucks they didn't spray. The knowledge didn't disappear. It just never made it into the owner's manual. And then Toyota spent $3.4 billion proving exactly why it should have. Here is what I found in the settlement record. Roughly 1.5 million vehicles. The 2005 through 2010 Tacoma, the 2007 and 2008 Tundra, the 2005 through 2008 Sequoia, a class action over premature frame rust, frames rotting through on trucks with clean bodies and functioning engines. The settlement covered roughly 225,000 frame replacements at about $15,000 each. $3.4 billion total. And it came with a coverage window, 15 years from the date of manufacture. That window has now quietly closed on most of those trucks. A 2005 Tacoma, 15 years from build, that's 2020. A 2010 model, that's 2025. For most owners of those vehicles, the settlement coverage is either expiring or already gone. The automaker paid to cover a decade and a half. Everything after that became the owner's bill. $3.4 billion spent replacing frames after the corrosion finished its work. Not preventing it, replacing it. A $40 jug applied once a year would have starved that reaction of what it needs to run, oxygen and moisture, before it ever reached the stage where a screwdriver tells the story. That's not a figure of speech. Lanolin and petroleum oil film products work by coating the steel surface and physically excluding oxygen and moisture from contact with the metal. The film stays fluid. It doesn't dry, doesn't crack, and creeps back into scratches and seams as it slowly migrates. Inside an enclosed rail where the coating never gets washed away, product reports and snowbelt owner experience consistently show 2 or more seasons of protection from a single application. The SAE's own field correlated test data confirms what that salt exposure does to unprotected steel over the same interval. Put those two things together, and the math is straightforward. Now here is the honest version, because it matters. Lanolin film and oil-based undercoats slow and starve rust. They do not reverse it. If your frame rail is already perforated, if a probe goes through the steel, that is a structural safety issue. A mechanic needs to assess it before anything else happens. No spray product fixes structural rot. There is also a specific mistake that makes things worse. A rubberized hard-shell undercoat, the kind some shops apply as a protective coating, traps salt and moisture against already rusted steel. It looks like protection. It accelerates the damage underneath. The reason lanolin film works is precisely because it doesn't seal. It stays fluid, creeps into every seam and scratch and weld gap, and keeps oxygen and moisture off the metal without creating a pocket where corrosion runs in the dark. If you spray fluid film over existing light surface rust, the reddish-brown dusting on an older frame, that's fine. The oil penetrates, displaces moisture, and slows the reaction. If you find heavy scale, flaking sections, or a seam that gives under a pick, stop. Inspect first. Know what you're coating before you coat it. For the truck in your driveway right now, the one with 140,000 miles on it, or 90,000, or 200,000, here is what the process actually looks like. Before you buy anything, get underneath. Bring a flashlight and a pick. Run it along the frame rails, the cross members, and especially the spring shackle mounts. Those are load-bearing, and they're the first place road mud and salt pack in and stay wet. Probe any seam that looks scaly. If the pick skates off solid metal, you have a frame that will benefit from this. If it sinks anywhere, that section needs a mechanic, not a spray can. If the frame is solid or lightly surfaced, start with an undercarriage wash. You want the salt and loose debris off before you seal anything in. Let it dry completely. If you're using fluid film, warm the jug slightly so it sprays thin. A dedicated undercoating gun runs about $100 to $120 once and handles every annual application after. Rattle cans run about $80 for a full frame and suspension if you'd rather skip the gun. Coat the frame rails, cross members, suspension components, and the backs of the bumpers. Then do the one thing most people miss entirely. Spray inside the boxed frame rails through the existing drain holes. That sealed interior cavity is where corrosion starts and where it does the most damage. A flexible wand extension on the spray gun reaches where you can't otherwise get. After you coat the interior, keep those drain holes clear of packed debris. A blocked drain hole traps water, which keeps the corrosion cycle running with no exit. Fluid film is thinner and penetrates light surface rust well. Wool wax is thicker and more wash-resistant on exposed surfaces. Either one inside the rails holds for 2 or more seasons in most climates. The outer frame and suspension, the surfaces that take direct road wash, need a fresh coat each fall. One jug, one afternoon, before the first salt goes down. Mask the brake rotors, calipers, and exhaust before you spray. Overspray on a braking surface reduces stopping power. Do the job with a cold truck. Work in a ventilated space. The total first-year cost, gun, jug, and cans if you want them, sits well under $200. Every fall after that, you're buying the jug. $30 to $50. A shop application runs $170 to $300 a year for a service like Crown, and some full undercoat quotes reach $800. The DIY cost is a fraction of the shop cost, and the material going into your rails is the same. $40 versus $15,000. The math doesn't get simpler than that. The mechanics who've been doing this for 30 years weren't waiting for a manufacturer bulletin. They watched what salt does to steel every winter and reached for the cheapest thing that actually worked. Lanolin, the same waxy oil that waterproofs wool on a sheep's back. It doesn't react with steel, it doesn't dry out, it doesn't crack. It stays fluid and keeps oxygen and moisture off the metal as long as it's there. If you own a settlement-era Toyota, check your coverage status before you assume the cost is yours. For many owners, the 15-year window has already closed. For the rest, it's expiring. Verify before you assume. The boxed rail doesn't announce what's happening to it. It just gets thinner every winter from the inside, while the body above stays clean and the engine keeps running, while the owner keeps paying insurance and registration and thinking he's taking care of his truck. The body stayed perfect. The rail rotted anyway. Nobody was paid to hand you the cure. Salt turned the road into acid. A little wool grease told it no. Tell me what you're driving and how many miles are on it. Specifically, does it see salted winter roads? I want to build a record of what's actually surviving out there across every make and model. If you're the kind of person who'd rather know what the fix costs before the frame gives out, you already know what to do.